People, we are live. The date is February 1st, 2025. First order of business is on our Artist Steve Rude book. We did a little short of $40,000. We did 37. If you like to try to make it an even 40, that would make me and Gino and Princess, Gino Ginelli and the Dicks and the Blowhards very happy. So thanks for that. A lot of Patreon members this time added to our already prominent list of cool people. I want to show you some of the stuff I've been working on. A lot of you guys know that I practice a lot to get better. And the reason I'm always doing that is because it's what I call wanting to hit the ground running. That is challenging normally a painted commission of some kind, either from a comic company or one of the Patreon people. I'm ready to fly. And some of the things I do to get ready for it are the following here. This is a page that I pasted together right here with scissors and glue to show me the look that I want. There's a lot of looks that artists can get, but these are a partial list of my guiding lights right here. And I've written little notes here to show you why I like them. So it's at this point in my life, it's about training myself. I would love to keep going to figure drawing classes, but I can't stand the Scottsdale school that is in here, this area. Way too many snobs. And so I'm kind of just training myself. I might have a model after all this time of 100 no-shows, which would be nice. And that would be thanks to my friend Mark Schweikert, who put on a Superhero Saturday thing to raise money for the disenfranchised of the world. So this is part of this is Elfgren on the left, and this is John Ganem on the right. Both have qualities that I really like, especially the one on the right, John Ganem. He captures exactly what the tight artists do, but he captures it in a more free-form, loose kind of a way, which is, I think, my ultimate goal with my own work. There's a lot of artists that are on the no side, but I'm not going to show you them. Why insult them, right? Here's a commission that's coming in. Local guy here, John, I believe, commissioned me to redo this cover. So what I'm going to do is take this cover from the 1950s and redo it in paint. And this is what it looks like right here. My little roughs before I go to color. Here's a line version. Here's a tonal version in black and white. And after this, I'm gonna do a color rough. Very important. These are the steps that I go through in the beginning to make sure I've got things locked down far enough, not too far, because otherwise it would be boring just to keep doing these over and over to work out every little thing, which is boring to me. This is as far as I take it right here. And I will either try to find a model, lighter, and get photo reference for the older woman, the fridge from the 1950s. All that stuff is very important. Up above in the window, we have a reflection going on, and that's going to be a challenge. So I'm going to have to really investigate that to make sure I know how to do it right. I have an idea. I could probably fake it, but let's not do that. So there's that. Some studies that I've been doing here. These are something from the 1940s during the war years. I think it was 1946, and this was a recent watercolor study I just did of a really pretty girl from painted probably in the 1940s or early 50s. So this is how I practice. This is how I hit the ground running when a commission comes my way. The Nexus Animated show is always being worked on. So what do we have to show for that? Here's a title card that I want to use in the event that we have commercial breaks. I wanted to do something that was not showing everything, but showing basically a silhouette in a very mysterious kind of way with distorted perspective to make it look cool. So I think that's probably what we're going to use if and when I get my show. And we're always working on moving forward with that. Basically what I need is a guy with incredibly deep pockets, a virtual billionaire who can support the show financially, and then from there I step in, form a team, and lock down the process of beginning production. But this is some of the many things that I've done, literally hundreds, maybe thousands of drawings I've done for what they call pre-production. Speaking of pre-production, this is something everyone does. I have probably about 30 of these individual head sheets of Nexus himself, Horatio Halpop. So virtually I've covered every imaginable shot. Because I've got the time, there's no show yet, so this is what I work on. Clever, huh? What else do we have here? This is a exposure sheet. It looks like this when it's all stretched out. And what do we have in the exposure sheet? Nexus blasting hole in ground. Well, of course, everyone needs a blasting hole in the ground. How are we going to start off here? Let's see. We start off with a shot like this. Here he is blasting a hole in the ground. You have to know how to draw figures very well out of your imagination based on repetition, knowing the mannequin. And we're going to be doing a study later on of me showing you exactly how to work this into a live drawing that I'll be doing at the end of the session right here. So we got this. We've got a reverse view of an upshot. And then we're going to cut to this. This is part of the animated sequence where he's jumping up into the air. Everyone see that okay? Of course you can. Pick that up for me, Flowhard. And then it goes from there to there. And then, being the clever guy that I am, we're going to cut to another view. This is one that we originally started with, the down shot. And this is part of the animated sequence right here that I worked out on my own. Keep them loose, keep them fluid. These are first pass animation drawings right here, which I think is the most fun. Here's the third one and the fourth one. There we go. So that's how it works. When you flip them, which I can't do because it's going to distort everything that I'm trying to show you here, it'll look like it's being animated. Oh, speaking of Nexus here, oh boy, here's more, and more. Guys, see that okay? A lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. New sketchbook stuff. Speaking of hitting the ground running, I think you saw this last time. Different sources, some photo of a girl that was smiling, too good at smiles, right? Rockwell up in the upper left, that was converted into watercolor. I'm not sure where this came from. Up above is based on a comic book cover that I saw. Here's the latest thing I've been doing right here. Animation. I love the practice, but it teaches you fluidity and just basic gestures in a very curving kind of a way. It's all based on curves. There's very few straights unless you want to design a character with straights, like Sleeping Beauty, but these are all based on curves right here. Recent painting comments. Okay, so I wrote about watercolor and what I learned from the last time I worked with it. Oh, this is kind of fun. More animation stuff right there. I thought this was a perfectly done screen capture of this moment from the Disney Robin Hood film. And I took that and Oh, is this stuff new right here? Yeah, I believe it is. Some more new stuff. Anyway, from there, the Frazetta copy and charcoal and Alice, I did a copy of that. And this is the line drawing version of it right there that I copied from. This is how I learn new things. Practice, 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 which is, for me, is anything but hard work. It is mostly fun. The hard work is when you actually do a commission or a piece for a real piece for a comic company cover, or a commission, or whoever else might write in and ask for work from the humble dude here. So this stuff is just a blast right here. Moving on. How many of you people have seen this book before? How to Draw Nexus. Now, I believe that we've gotten a lot of requests in, since this is out of print, we sold out in this book, for people that may want to see a reprint of that. And if we get enough people writing in, you know how it works, guys. You write in, we want to see more of this book right here. We want to see more of this book right here. Maybe add a few new pages. Okay, well, that's the way it works, right? Let us know about that. Today's lesson. We're going to grab a new pencil here. This is a 6B basic real-life pencil right here. This is our layout paper. There's the where I originally drew the Peter Pan thing from. We're going to get a clean sheet. You notice I got this little piece of wood that boosts things up a little bit here. Sometimes the whole thing flips over at me and I get really mad. So let's take a, which is signed by the artist. How generous of him. Tips and techniques. Well, let's go to some of these pages right here where I show how I do things. Figure drawing tips. How to break down this and that. Do we have any mannequin drawings here? Head drawing. Storyboards for the eventual Nexus TV show. Here's a page from Johnny Quest, the original 1964 version. Here's how to do interiors, and here's not how to do interiors. Layouts. Layouts are really what makes the show work right here. I think we have more figure drawing stuff coming up here. Do we not? We do not. I think we have to go back in time here. So let me indulge myself here and try to find where I started. Okay, here we go. This is the stuff I'm working, male figure or any female figure, if you're into ideal types, which if you're doing comic books and illustration, you kind of want to learn how to do. So let's take a lesson from this right here. Let's turn the page back a little bit and go to page 1. Yes, we actually number our page numbers. Something Marvel seems to think is out of date, but what do we care about them? So let's grab a couple figures here, and I'm going to show you how I break them down with this spiral bound book here. Yeah, how do we boost this up a little bit? Well, I don't think we can. Unless we're really smart, which we don't tend to be sometimes. Okay, that's going to work. So these two figures, let's break them down and show you lesson 2 of how I draw things. Now, this is a very traditional method. People that are classically trained engage this method routinely. So this is how I've been trained, and this is how I have learned to do everything here, which is you start with a block-in, what is called a block-in of some kind. Now, you guys have seen me do this in previous videos here. We're just going to block it in with a normal pencil right here. I used to have a lot of trouble trying to work out crossed arms. And I did it enough times, literally hundreds of times, to finally figure out what was going on here. I always draw through things. So this goes over this arm, this goes up and under, and we have the start of something hopefully good here. Now here's Sunny Honey, the beautiful blonde that I created to fall in love with until I met her in real life. under the name of Princess Gino Ginelli. So the oval shape of the head, we all know how to do this stuff, but I need to show you because people that this is new to, we apparently have a lot of new younger guys coming in, discovering the work of the humble dude, which is always encouraging. There are certain proportions that we map out when we do heads. Everything has a series of subdivisions that come in. Eyes are in the middle. That tends to be the way it works always. Now the slant lines go like this right here. So if we're working with a block, which is often something that people use to explain how to do this stuff, that's why we use it. Because a block is dimensional. Trapezius, or rather whatever these are called up here. And from here, from this block end, we proceed. I'm going to change arms right here. Now remember, there's always a curvature to these these various muscles in the human body. They're not like this, They're more like this kind of a thing. They oppose each other. I'm also keeping my eyes on everything at once, so to make sure my proportions stay where they should. If I'm focusing on something minuscule down here, I'm not going to see the big picture very well. And I don't want to get astray and lose my sense of proportions right here. Middle line, I always have a middle line going on. So far so good. It only took me 40 years to do this. You can tell by the gray in my hair that's starting to finally come in that it's I've been doing this for a while here. It's time to get out the Grecian formula.
We got a comment from the Basic. He says, I have both the black and white and colored version of the book. This is a book that always needs to be in print, a wealth of information.
Okay, so we got an endorsement from somebody tuning in here, which is always nice. You don't have to take the dude's word for it. Take the word of people who have actually bought it. I think the best thing about it is the spiral bound, because obviously you'll find out why that's important when you start drawing from this thing right here. Okay, so there's Nexus. Arms are crossed, a sense of musculature going on here, and the body rhythms are, figure rhythms are going on as they should. Okay, you guys all understand that? Good. Sunny Honey, this beautiful blonde girl. So she is, let's get her more of a profile here. Same kind of construction method right here. I'm lightly going to block this in. Slight tilt to her head, okay? Now this oval shape right here, this is how it starts. If you do this incorrectly, if you make it too wide or too long or whatever, it's not going to look like an idealized version of a female. And because that's kind of important to the humble dude here, we endeavor to make sure that it starts right from the very beginning. We map out our proportions right here. These are standard proportions that everyone on Earth knows about. Eyes have to be a certain distance to make them fit in the skull right. Noses. I used to have a hard time with noses, but from this angle right here, they kind of look like this. Here's the underplane, here's the top plane, there's a little bit of a bridge going on there. This is the underplane stuff right here. Here's where the nostrils are. These are all things that you will find helpful when you when you investigate what this idealization is all about. So, mouth. The fixed line on a mouth is the middle line. And that's where the teeth are. So when you smile, that's what it looks like right there. We don't need the little dip there. The dip, the dip, the dip. Corners go up a little bit. The mouth is being stretched, so that's why you get this kind of thing going on here. Proportions are a little off right here. I've got the too long nose syndrome here that I'm always working on and always seem to be failing at, but we endeavor to try. So there's my midline right there. The little dip going on there. Okay, now she's smiling. Eyeballs, they're round. When they're looking this way, they look like that. When they're looking at you, they look like that. At you, they look like that. If they're looking to the other way, they look like that. They've got to look like they turn on a sphere, right? Obvious? Yes, of course it is. That was my Sean Connery impersonation right there. So let's give Sandra Peel her appeal here. Remember how I showed you how to do the eyes? Okay, well, she's looking at her guy right here, Nexus. And here, okay, well, at times she favors this little curly thing going on. Remember that you've got to think of this stuff dimensionally. You're always going to hear me talking about that. Everything has a set of proportions in a larger shape. And the smart guys like you all watching out there know all about this kind of stuff. So what is Sandra Peel doing? Okay, well she's got a chest size equal to her body type. Let's give her arms that are showing everyone who's boss here. There's the center line, idealized. She's got a nice thin waist. And let's give her a little insignia up here, just to be cool. And her hand would be coming over like that. That's my hand blocking right there. And then, of course, you've got the anatomy of the hand going on too. So a couple lines to show you ears. So from this view on the head, this is what it looked like. Remember, on the top, they stick out a little bit, like that. So you got to think about this when you're doing this right here on Sandra Peel. We got the little weird rhythms going on here for the ear, which are really kind of bizarre when you think about it. So we got that. We got Nexus. If you want to shade them in, be my guest. I'm told that I have to remind you guys to hit the like button. I guess a little bell goes off, right? Is that how it works? You guys that know much more about this stuff than I do? Hey, I just draw the pictures, guys. Gino and the super little kid know all about that stuff, which, of course, I know nothing. So again, the 6B pencil is really the coolest thing for this right here. Just give Sandra Peel a little bit of a color right here. Her face would be, you know, kind of like that. So there you go. You want to put nails in, all that kind of stuff. These actually have to be put in very carefully. They fit on the finger like this. You want to put the moon stuff in there, go right ahead. And then there's the joints. On a woman, they're very subtle. And you also want to taper their fingers to be like this right here. Male hands look more like this. It's just the way people are built. So, there you go. What do you guys think so far? This is how I block my stuff in. I'm always going to be one to show you how I do things. Electric pencil sharpener always comes in handy. The old crank types is what I used when I was a little kid, which fortunately I have had replaced. So there you go, okay? That's how I draw this right here. That's how I break it down. We're here. That's how I break it down. We're going to sign it. SR, Stephen Dean Rude, February 1st, 2025. Boy, that year still sounds so weird to me. So there you go. Here's the book that I work from right here, that I've done for a lot of people that have requested how I do things when I draw. This is the book right here. So that's going to be the lesson for today. I hope that helped. If it didn't, well, find another book. There's a lot to be found out there. Oh, let's not forget the folds. This guy actually
a $5 donation to the stream from Coffee Lover, and they say, I love this kind of content. Keep it up.
He wants me to keep it up. I assure you I will, as long as I'm breathing, and as long as these hairs keep getting grayer, I will be here to show you exactly how I do things. If it's a benefit to you, then what do they always tell me to say right here? Oh, we have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's Patreon members. Link in the description. Does anyone know what that means? I think everyone knows what that means, except for me. We're building a community. That's exciting for the Rude family to see that. If you're into this kind of stuff, like it, share it, and ring that bell. Remember that disco song from the 70s? I sure do. That's going to be it for now. I hope you enjoyed. There's my drawing. I hope it helped. You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.